Hi, students, and here we are at March 3rd already. Before you know it, it'll be mid-March, St. Patrick's Day, and our pie contest. I hope you all are memorizing your digits of pi so that you can participate in that. I really love to see the eighth grade do especially well this year. So for our do now, we have a little prompt about stress and anxiety and how you respond to that. Our objective today will be to continue our work on simplifying and factoring expressions. Our essential question is what separates the terms of an expression and what is simplifying. We always have to review that over and over. Our assignment for today will be to complete the do now, watch the video and complete the page, complete our exit ticket, and these we do in teams, this we do on paper, and super important, show your work to the teacher. And let's finish up anything that you did not complete in class for homework tonight. Most of you get done in class, but even if you finish or don't finish, make sure you show me your work. What's happening now? The Pi Day contest. How many digits do you know by heart? And those of you who are in school learners, we've been having some fun at lunch with that, and that's been a good time. Our exit ticket we'll get back to in a minute. Here's our do now. So we've got a little do now about understanding stress and anxiety, and they aren't exactly the same thing. You may not have known this. Stress is an emotional and or a physical response to something external, something that happens outside of you. That's what external means. But anxiety is that persistent excess worry that feels out of your control. Okay, you can have anxiety due to stress, or anxiety can cause stress. But here's the question: how does the announcement of final exams or SBAC testing or MAP testing or any other big tests, how does that affect your emotions, your thoughts, and your body? We do have physical manifestations. You could break out in a sweat, you could get nervous, you could shake. Some people shut down, all kinds of ways that even your body reacts to stress. So, how does the announcement of these kinds of testing situations affect you? Are you somebody that gets really nervous about those? And I'm hoping that if that is you, we can work on some strategies to help you. So, meanwhile, let's get started on after you've responded to that, of course, and you get to respond to that right here, in this answer box right here. So you can type or use the drawing tool, whatever you want. But let's get to our lesson. So today is March. I don't want to abbreviate March, it's a short enough month. March 3rd, and we're factoring expressions. And when the instructions ask us to factor each expression, if an expression cannot be factored, we know we write prime. It's a prime expression. So is there a number that is a factor of 9 and 27, and 9 is a factor of 9 and of 27. So 9 would be on the outside, and 9 divided by 9, because that's what we're doing, we're dividing, is 1. And we do not do this. We don't write 1x, okay, or a or any other variable. We simply write the variable, and it is implied that there is an invisible 1 in front of that. And then 27 divided by 9 is 3. We've got a plus sign in between them, and that's our final answer. Now, 4 and 28, I'm looking at number 2, are both divisible by 4. So the 4 will come outside of the parenthesis, and we have a 4c here. 4 divided by 4 is 1. That leaves c, minus 28 divided by 4 is 7. So that, let me see if I can, just need to write that a little neater for you, okay? So we've got 4 on the outside, and on the inside we have c minus 7. Now, how do we know that this is correct? If we distributed 4 times c, we would have 4c, and 4 times negative 7 would be negative 28. And if we get back to the place where we started, we know our factoring is correct. So we just use the distributive property. So the distributive property and factoring are really inverse operations of each other. So let's look at 3k plus 34. And do you know of a number that is a factor of both of those? Because I don't. And that means that that is prime. Now let's look at 8m plus 72. And 8 is indeed a factor of both 8m and 72, of 8 and 72. So 8 will come outside of the parentheses. 8 divided by 8 is 1, so that's 1m plus 72 divided by 8 is 9. Now, on number 5, we have 5x and 5y. So, of course, we can divide them both by 5. So 5 comes to the outside, and that means there is 1x left minus that 1y that is left. Because remember, if we were to distribute this, we would end up with 5x minus 5y. So that would be correct. So this is our correct answer. Now we have 2m plus 12n, and it's easy to see that 2 is a factor of 2 and 12. So 2 will come outside of the parentheses. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we have 1m plus 12 divided by 2 is 6n. And remember, we cannot combine different letters. M and N cannot be combined. Now with 10k minus 6, 10 and 6 are both divisible by 2. So 2 comes outside of the parentheses. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And we have that k minus 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And 4p minus 15, is there a number that's a factor of both of those? No, there isn't. So that is a prime expression that cannot be factored any further. Now with number 9, we have an 8 and a 36, 8m plus 36. The largest number that's a factor of both of those, remember, 8 is not a factor of 36. But 4 is a factor of both 8 and 36. 8 divided by 4 is 2, so we're going to pull the 4 out. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and we have that n plus 36 divided by 4, which is our 9. Now, looking at number 10, we have a 15w plus 5. Both of those are divisible by 5. So 5 will come out on the outside. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and we have the w, plus 5 divided by 5 is 1. So since we don't have a variable, we do write the 1. Okay, number 11, we have 6a minus 27b, and a and b cannot be combined, remember. A factor that is common to both of those is 3. 3 can come out. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so we have 2a. And 27 divided by 3 is 9, so that's minus 9b. Just write that again a little clearer. There you go. And then number 12, we need the largest number that's a common factor of 28m and 16n. And the largest number that goes into both of those is a 4. So 4 will come outside of the parentheses. 28 divided by 4 is 7, and then we have our m, plus 16 divided by 4 is 4, and we have our n. Let me make that look more like an n, because we don't want to be confused. That's an n. Okay, now we've got a little more complexity here. This time we're asked to simplify and then factor each expression. So we have 18c minus 49 plus 1 minus 2c. Well, remember, think of this as four expressions: 18c, negative 49 plus 1, negative 2c. So 18c minus 2c is 16c, and negative 49 plus 1 is negative 48. Now, you must write this intermediate step here, but we're not finished. Now we're going to factor 16 and 48, and 16 is a factor of 48. 16 times 3 is 48, so I'm going to divide everything by 16, and that's what comes out. And 16 divided by 16 is 1, so we still have that c with the invisible 1. 48 divided by 16 is 3, and that is our final answer. Remember, we're doing two things. We're simplifying, then factoring. So number 14, we have negative 4k minus 13 plus 6k plus 23. So let's think of this as four terms. So the like terms here are negative 4k and positive 6. So positive 6 minus 4 is 2k. And then we have negative 13 plus 23, which is positive 10. Now, what can we take out of 2k and 10? What's the common factor to both of those? Well, that would be 2. So 2 comes out. And 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we just have our k left. There it is, plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that's our final answer. Okay, let's move on to number 15. We have negative 9 plus 10a minus 4a minus 5b. So let's divide those expressions. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing that to help you. Let's start with the a's. We have positive 10 minus 4, so that would be 6a. And then for the b terms, we have negative 9b minus 5b, which would be negative 14b. Now, what is the largest number that we can divide 6 and 14 by? Well, that would be 2. So we're going to divide those both by 2, which means that 2 comes out. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and that's our A term, minus 14 divided by 2 is 7b, and that's a final answer for that. Number 16, oh, look what we have. We have to distribute first. We have to distribute that negative 2 through 3w plus 4. So let's start writing. We have our 10w. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6w. Negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8 plus 4. So let's combine like terms. We have 10w minus 6w is 4w. And then negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. Now, what common term can we pull out of here? Well, we've got the 4. We can divide both of those by 4. So 4 comes out. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and that's just 1w, minus 4 divided by 4, which is 1. And that's our final answer for that one. Okay, number 17, negative 4 plus 2 times the quantity of 8 minus 5h plus 18h. We will need to distribute first. So that would be negative 4. Positive 2 times 8 is positive 16. Positive 2 times negative 5h is negative 10h. And then we have our plus 18h. Now let's combine like terms. We've got H terms, let's start with a letter. Negative 10 plus 18. So that would be 8, positive 8H. And negative 4 plus 16 would be positive 12. Now we need a common factor of 8 and 12, and that would be 4. So 4 comes out, and 8 divided by 4 is 2, and we have our H and positive sign, plus sign. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that would be 4 times the quantity of 2H plus 3. And then number 18, 12x minus 7y minus 8x, that's a quantity, plus 4x minus 11y. So first we need to distribute the negative sign. The negative sign simply changes the signs within the parentheses. So this is a positive 7, it will become negative. This is a negative 8, it will become positive. Think of it as multiplying by negative 1. So let's start at the beginning. 12x, so negative 7y, negative times a negative is a positive 8x plus 4x minus 11y. So we've got x's and y's here. Let's make sure we keep them all straight. We'll start with the x terms. We have 12 plus 8 plus 4. So that's 24x. Now the y terms, we have negative 7 minus 11, that would be minus 18y. Now we need to know what is a common factor of 18 and 24, and I'm thinking 6. Those are both divisible by 6, and that would be the largest common factor, the greatest common factor. So 6 will come out. And 24 divided by 6 is 4, so that's our 4x minus 18 divided by 6 is 3, and that's our y term. And 6 times the quantity of 4x minus 3y is a final answer. And our final question of the day is a word problem. A question on a math test asks the students to simplify the expression 7 minus 3k plus 9k minus 23. Kate answered 2 times the quantity of 3k minus 8. Is she correct or incorrect? Explain. Well, let's go ahead and do that problem. So 7 minus 3k plus 9k minus 23. So 9k minus 3k is 6k, so I'll put that here. And 7 minus 23 is 15, or excuse me, 16. Yep. So that's negative 16. So looks like the answer, she was just asked to simplify, so she didn't have to factor. So it looks like the answer should be 6k minus 16. So is she correct or incorrect? Kate is incorrect. Okay, the answer should be (6k minus 16). Okay, so you've been working very hard at simplifying and factoring. Super proud of your efforts and super proud of the way so many of you have been showing your work to me. I think you're getting, even with the distance learning and everything, I think you guys are doing a terrific job this year. I've seen a lot of great learning going on, and it really shows. So thank you for your hard work, and keep practicing, because you know what happens. Before you know it, you'll be great.